Hi, it's me again with CorelDraw tips and tricks, part 2 of this. Not really necessary, but I started thinking about it. I did a couple of things wrong with this last one. And what I did is right here. I don't know that those two boxes are even. So I'm going to select them both and I'm going to hit P and put them in the center of the page. And now these two boxes are equal. I mean, before, let's go back before I put them in the center of the page. And if we happen to measure, just by chance, let's just do it. Parallel dimension tool from that node to that node, and we've got 0.28. 0.28. I got really lucky. 0.18. Well, and you can see I messed up, or maybe it just grabbed it. I need to bring that down. So what I'm trying to do is I wanted to make it equal. And just by chance, I got it perfect. And maybe I actually had done it, hit P and then moved it over there. Okay, here's the new box. Now, let's do it again. Let's take that box, this one, and move it down. Now, let's move this out of the way. And if we look at it, let's see if it changes when I hit P. Select them both and hit P. You can't, well, let me back up. Let me kind of put them in the center. And if by chance I got it perfect, then there's really no reason for this video, but I got really lucky. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and take the virtual segment delete key and delete that line, delete that line, delete that line, delete that line. And now you see that this is equal. Now, if we take this and we left click, right click, and bring one of those corners into our known graphic, and we're going to call that pretty close, but see, I'm on that line and I'm not on that line. So I'm going to use this side, and this is what I did the other day. And I'm going to use the 3-point curve line, and I'm going to go. Now, here's the part where I can't really get it equal because there's nothing to really reference. So let's do this. Now let's move this out of the way. Now, it won't do any good to put it in the center of the page, but since I have, instead of cutting out this line, I'm going to take the rectangle tool and I'm going to fill that in with the smart fill tool. And now I have that inner shape. Now, if I just did a video on this last night, left click, right click, and go up to object and break the curve apart, and then I can get rid of that one line. So here's kind of the key and the reason I wanted to do it. If I want both those to be equal, I'm going to control, see, I'm using this file and had to open up a new window and I didn't. This is why you want your duplicate distance on 0, 0. Control D and duplicate it and then mirror it over. Now, with the nodes, I can grab that and go right dead on. We'll have that node do that. Now, once again, I could either, two ways to do it. I could cut the lines out, or I could do that box again. Now, if you see that these are two different parts, so what we're going to do is take the smart fill tool and fill that in, nudge it down, left click, right click, and we'll bring it back. That's what happens when you still have the smart fill tool. So get the pick tool and let's put that thing approximately, we're going to try to get it pretty close and put it like right there. Because what's going to happen, now everything's equal. We're a little bit, let me change my nudge factor to like 0.001. We still want it equal, but we want it pretty proportionate. So I'm going to bring it up a little bit. And now I'm going to create this line, but there's no reference point. I mean, I have nothing to go on. There is some graph paper, but it doesn't really help me. So I'm going to get the 3-point curve line, and I'm going to go from about right there till about right there. And so that's not going to be equal. But if we click on it and then turn it in and bring this down a little bit, and we're gonna bring that hump back up, and then add a node right there and bring that up. So we're pretty much on the line. We could bring that down a little bit, bring this down a little bit, but are my sides equal? I don't know that. I know it might not be. Let me change my nudge factor back to 2 inches. We'll make it 3. Let's select my deal and move it out of the way. Let's take this. See, that's why you use the Smart Fill tool, because you got all those factors. Now, I don't know that we have this in the center. You know, I was just ballparking it off a pretty crude drawing. And if I didn't need to do that. I want to get the parallel dimension tool and go from that node outward to that node. I got 0.52. I'm going to go from that node to that node. See, I'm 0.51. So I'm a little bit off. Is that a problem? No. But if you're going to do it perfect. So we're going to grab this and Control G and then hit P to put it in the center, put the center of the page. And I still got something there. And now we're going to hit P, put it in the center of the page. Now, if I take a 2-point line and hit P, now if I take this away, when I do this now, it will be perfectly centered on both sides. Control D, hold down the control button and get that two-sided cross. And now I'm almost assured, let's get the parallel dimension tool, go from that node to that node, we're 0.52. 0.52. So we're exactly in the middle because we cut that thing in half. Let me just delete this. And now this is the easy part. I'm going to go ahead and cut away that line. And I could have done it like I did before. I could have moved that out of the way or did the outside. Let me put that back. I'm going to left click, right click. Now it's not going to Control D. It's not going to flip perfectly because it's off center. But if we take that node and put that node right there, now I'm going to do what I did the first time. I'm going to take a box and look at that, our arch hitting the same. So, but it will be now. Because we do this, I'm going to fill this in now. So I'm going to do it a little bit differently with the Smart Fill tool. Fill that in. And now I'm going to left click, right click, and now let's test it. And I'm almost going to guarantee you it's perfect. So we're going to take it and Control D and make a duplicate, make the duplicate in black, and then mirror it. It doesn't move. It's right on top of each other. As you can see, it's a perfect shape. Now we still need to do a few things to it, like we did in the first video. We're going to take, let's see if we can't do them all at one time. Grab all these with the shape tool. I am going to shift select, do all these, shift select, do all these, shift select. You know what? It's just the outer ones that need to be cornered. So I can shift select all these, just the corner. Well, yeah, you're going to have to do them all at one time. Because whenever you do that, it's going to continue that mode. I don't know how that happened. Anyway, we're going to take this now and go up to Windows, Dockers, and Corners. And hopefully it'll be set on what I did the other day. 0.02, 0.02. You know what? I wonder if we can shift select. Yeah, we can shift select those two. And that doesn't really help you because it's just one less step. Now you could grab all these three and shift select them. Well, it's not going to work. But it's almost easier just to do one at a time. Now, if you had hundreds of these, so now we've got our corners with that little bit of a edge on it. And I can't remember if we went outside or inside with the, yeah, we went outside because it's a little bit bigger. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I'm going to go to effects and contour. I'm going to contour the outside a 1/4 of an inch with rounded corners. 1/4 inch is too big. Let's go 0.1. And you would put, and that I'm going to show you the difference here between contouring from the inside or contouring from the outside. Well, we need to bring it over here. And of course, you could do that while it was on this part. So we're pretty close. It could be a little bit more of a contour, but just on the width, I'd be happy with that. And then as always, you need to go break the contour apart, and then you would not want these to be, if they're going to engrave them, make them something other than a hairline, which they are, because he must draw in 1/2 point, but you can make it 1 point. And now this thing is 100% 100% equal. Now let's do the difference. Let's okay, let me make a copy of this. I'm going to show you the difference between the inside and outside. So I contoured to the outside. This time I'm going to contour to the inside. And look at the difference in our curves. Our curves are little and big on the outside, much like this. We've got a little bit of a curve and a big curve. They're almost the same. Matter of fact, I don't even think that would be any different. So that wouldn't really be a factor on that. So you know what? Look at the difference. When I did this, I've got straight corners here and I've got rounded corners here because I came from the inside with rounded corners. Now we back up here and go to the inside with that, we have those square corners. So that's probably the way you want to do it. And then if that isn't big enough, of course, he's making his own. Control-G to group it, grab a handle and make it any size you want. Anyway, I hope that helped a little bit more, and thank you for watching.